I read 7 books in the month of May, and these are the best and the worst. And I'm going to tell you why and what my thoughts were on these. If you haven't already, go back and check out my video that is the full review of all 7 books that I read in the month of May. But let's jump into the best and the worst. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lydia Kyle. I am an avid reader, book collector, and I love to share book reviews with you every single month. I read every genre, including nonfiction. So if you haven't already, like I said, go check out my long form review of all 7 books that I read in the month of May. You can find that on my channel, where you can also subscribe to my channel to see more book content. And also be sure to like this video and engage with this video because it helps me tremendously. Okay, best and worst of the month of May. I always like to start with the bad news first. And the bad news is that Harper Woods dropped the ball on book 4 of the Flesh and Bones series. I am so disappointed in this because I waited a long time for it. I really waited a long time for book 4 to come out. And book 1, 2, and 3, I devoured them. I read them so fast, and maybe that's why this was a letdown, because by the time book 4 came out, it just felt like it fell flat. Maybe if I had been able to read the whole series, like binge read it, maybe I would feel differently about it. But after reading book 1, 2, and 3 in a very quick succession and then picking up book 4 a year and a half later, I just really did not like this. I didn't like the writing style. I didn't like the characters. And honestly, the world building even felt a little bit shaky, and I didn't feel that way before. My theory on this is that Harper Woods has another series that she seems to be a little bit more passionate about and has gotten a lot more attention over the past few years. So I'm kind of just wondering if maybe this series has become a little bit of an ugly stepchild, and she's just not as engaged with this series or these characters compared to her other series. I have not read her other series. It doesn't align with my reading tastes, and so I was just gonna hopefully enjoy this. I DNF'd it. I got about a quarter of the way into it. I felt like I didn't engage with the characters. The dialogue was really rough. The world building was shaky at best. And frankly, the writing was not great. And so I just am disappointed by this, but unfortunately, as disappointing as it is, Harper Woods, What Sleeps Within the Cove, book 4 of the Flesh and Bones series, is the worst book that I read in the month of May. On to the good news. Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Holy smokes. If anybody asks me for a book recommendation from here on out, this is what I'm going to recommend. I don't even care what genre you're asking for. You're going to get Project Hail Mary. I am so surprised how much I love sci-fi. If you would have told me 2 years ago that sci-fi may become one of my favorite genres, I would have laughed at you. I'd be like, no, I am a fantasy girl all the way through. Like, look at my bookshelves. Okay, I am a fantasy girl through and through. But then again, we've got some sci-fi that is very prominent on my bookshelves. And every time I pick up a sci-fi book, whether I really love it or I'm just like, okay, I'm just super captivated by it. And I'm so surprised how much I enjoy sci-fi. But Project Hail Mary took my breath away. I have ordered the other 2 books by this author, Artemis and The Martian, because if they're anything like this, I'm sure I will devour them and they will take my breath away equally. But this book, the writing is beautiful. However, I would say the author has accomplished something really difficult, in my opinion, because the majority of this book is a monologue. Right? This astronaut is alone in space with his thoughts. Okay, I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but there's a lot of monologuing happening. Monologues can be incredibly difficult to read. Not only can monologues be difficult to read, monologues can be very difficult to convey. Because if you think about it, the way that we think in our head and the way that we speak out loud are not necessarily the same. The way that the author was able to make a monologue feel very real, very engaging, and downright captivating was incredible. Not only that, this book has some of the best humor that I've read before. And like, you're probably thinking, how is an astronaut alone in space on a suicide mission to save Earth funny? All I can tell you is that this book has some of the best written humor that I have read in a long time. I loved the ending of this book. I love the way that it wrapped up. I could have kept reading this book and I wouldn't have been disappointed about it, but at the same time, it ended perfectly. The pace was perfect. The characters were incredible. The story was incredible. The writing was beautiful. I cannot praise this book enough, and I cannot wait to read more from this author. Project Hail Mary is probably one of the best books that I've read in a long time, and it is definitely the best book that I have read in 2025. There you have it. Best and worst for the month of May. Guys, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I would love to share more book-related content with you. I have an entire playlist on my channel, so you can check all of that out. And if you're gonna share this video, I would love for you to tag me in that. You can find all of my handles in the description of this episode. I am very easy to find on all platforms, and I love to connect with you guys on other platforms. Thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you for supporting this channel. I have been working so hard to grow this YouTube, and I appreciate you guys more than you could ever know. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys back next time.